Hello, my name is Carl Gibbons. I am the owner of Given 100, and today I'll be talking and working with Becky here on stretching techniques. Becky, you want to give a little background information about yourself?
I can. I happen to be a patient here. I work for Dr. Smith. I have had almost all of the injections and the diagnostic discogram and ended up having surgery. So I truly understand our patients here, the pain that they go through, and I'm looking forward to learning myself about how to better take care of my back and feel better.
I really want people to understand the importance of stretching. A lot of people nowadays don't see the value in it and understand how 5 and 10 minutes can help you throughout the whole day. And so we will begin.
Ready?
All right, first thing I want to work with you on is when you wake up in the morning. A lot of people jump out of bed and get into their day, want to rush and to get into breakfast and shower, but the first couple minutes should be devoted towards you.
Okay.
And that's where stretching comes in. So when you get out of bed, I think you should give yourself about a minute worth of just right here. Stretching out that lower back, those obliques in this core area. Most people believe that their abs are strong and they have a strong core, but actually your core is a belt. It starts here, goes around to your obliques, and then your lower back. So if you can give yourself a minute of this, help get that blood flow from the bottom, top of the body all the way back down to the bottom.
Keeping legs firm or moving?
No, you want to turn over that foot.
Okay.
And as you go, you'll feel yourself loosening up, and you'll be able to turn further and further on every twist. So you give yourself a minute of that. Now, once you're done with that, you want to kick out any kinks. Most of the time, people knees and joints lock up. So we want to just give a little bit of kinks, help that blood flow come through.
Okay.
Now, this is my favorite position. I like to hold it a lot. And so what I would say you can do is start challenging yourself on how long you can hold this position. Once you want to get your feet square up underneath you, you want to be able to lock your arms here. You want to let hang here and let gravity do its thing. In the process, you want to slowly but surely be pushing back your knees. So I would say first start off with 30 seconds, then second pose 45 seconds, then after that maybe a minute.
Just hang or push?
Just hang and let gravity do its thing. You want to let your neck come down, you just want to relax. Make sure you're breathing in the process. We don't want you falling over. Now you can come up and go right back to this twist. This twist is going to help loosen up everything. Because what's happening is when you're sleeping, your body's tightening up. Your lower back's getting tight, your glutes are getting tight, and your hamstrings are becoming tight. So we want to make sure we loosen all of that up.
All right.
Now let's go back to the hold. Make sure we're here. We want to push our knees back. Now a lot of people won't have that flexibility in the beginning. So if you have to start here, and when you're hanging, that's fine. But slowly but surely, as you become better with this stretch, you want to be able to push your knees back and take yourself down lower and lower. As you can see, Becky's coming more comfortable in the position, which is good. That lower back is more loosening up because those hamstrings and glutes are loosening up. All right, come back up. Now we're going to start with the top of the back. The body's connected through every single muscle, through every single part. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take that right arm, we're going to bring it across here, and we're going to pull through. There you go. Now you should feel a loosen here, here, and here. Now these holds up in here where you work your shoulders and your neck, you want to do around 30 seconds or so. I'll let you switch off, opposite arm. Pull this right here so you'll be able to pull back as far as you want.
Okay.
Whatever your range of motion allows. Now we're going to bring our arms to the side and we're going to loosen up the upper part of our neck and shoulders right here. So the first thing we're going to do is take our head to the left and we're just going to pull. I want you to feel those muscles pulling, trying to separate from those shoulders. Now when you're here, I want you to try to keep this opposite shoulder down as you're pulling your neck across.
So keep your shoulders as straight as possible.
Try to keep them square as possible.
Okay.
Okay. When I say square, I'm trying to tell you basically straight.
Right. Okay.
Now you want to be able to take it to the opposite side. You should feel the separation between here and here. It's going to help loosen this up once we get back to it.
Okay.
Now, the next thing we want to do, we want to pull that hip forward, right here. This is probably where you'll feel the most tension because after waking up in the morning, your back is so tight, you're feeling it down throughout this spine right here.
Almost kind of like a V there.
Yes, and what you want to do is you want to try to be able to get your chin to touch the chest. Now I want you to stand straight up.
Okay.
Now, next time you do it, I'm going to have my hand right here because I don't want you to bend. Now,
Okay.
take that chin to the chest. Feel the difference now that you can bend?
Yes.
A good way to do these stretches is to look at yourself in the mirror to make sure you're holding good posture. Now we're going to take it right back here. We're going to hold here because I don't want you to bend. Now we're going to go right back to the beginning and get right in here. You should feel yourself just a little bit looser.
I am.
Now we're going to go back to my favorite pose right here. And just hang. You should feel yourself just coming down further and further. Make sure you're breathing. Come back up. And that's a great way to start your morning.
Carl has asked me to tell him about my everyday activities and how it affects my life. I think the hardest thing for me is bending. I do have some grabbers that I use sometimes, and I avoid bending as much as possible. That is really hard for me. So I use the grabbers, or I try to keep things, if I'm going to fold laundry and stuff, I try to keep everything at a high level, so I don't have to bend, so I try to keep everything here. That's one of the hardest things. Walking for any distance, and I used to walk all the time, but walking for any distance, I have to stop. My hips start tightening up. It feels like there's rubber bands on them. Because in the beginning I thought it was my hips, but it was my back. It wasn't the hips. If I do anything out of the ordinary, I do feel that and pay for it. As we talked about earlier, I did some weed whacking and paid for that for about 2 to 3 days.
Whenever I consider it functional movement. Whenever you're moving, you need to make sure your body's prepped and prepared to be able to do whatever it is that you're going to do. A lot of the bending problems come because you have tight hips.
Yes.
The tight hips come from tight back.
Right.
Tight back comes from most likely weak hamstrings. Your lower back is centering your body to make sure that you don't fall over. So when you go on those long walks and everything like that, and your hamstrings become fatigued, your lower back is now taking over all of that pressure. And it's tiring you out, and it's creating those hips to be tired because your whole middle part of your body is being put into overdrive, and it's taking on so much pressure, so much force, and yet those muscles aren't strong enough to be able to carry it. If you look at a football player or a basketball player, a soccer player, any athlete, you see that their mid area from the lower back all the way down to the hamstrings are really strong. Glutes stick out, hamstrings stick out, lower back as tight as possible. And now, when you become a little bit older in age and you're not working out as much, you lose that muscle.
Right.
And when you lose that muscle, the brain believes that, yeah, I can go and do the same things I was able to do, but yet your body is saying, no, we can't do that because we're not properly put together to be able to handle those kind of movements.
So are you saying that I need to start from here and strengthen up to here?
Yes. First thing I would say is walking is awesome, but you need to be able to find some things that be able to strengthen your hamstring, strengthen your glutes. You strengthen those two areas, it takes pressure off that lower back. With stretching, that'll alleviate a lot of that pain that you'll be going through on a day-to-day basis.
Can you show me a demonstration on that to start?
A good way to be able to strengthen your hamstring, and these are exercises that you can do at home. Laying down on your back, and you can go right here, we'll do them together. We're gonna put our heels into the ground, and we're gonna pull our toes up. I do this with a lot of my young athletes to be able to strengthen the hamstring because I'm not a big believer of them putting a lot of weight on their bodies during the growing stages of their life. So we're gonna lay back here. We're gonna put our heels into the ground. You're gonna pull your legs up a little bit closer. And we're just gonna bridge up just like through here. We're pushing through our glutes and our hips. We're gonna hold for a 3 count. Then we're gonna go down slowly. And we're gonna come right back up. Now, after we do a certain number of these, we'll start feeling fatigue in our legs. And you'll get a knot in your hamstring. But that's fine. Whenever you start feeling that knot, you want to lay out and straighten your legs. Let that blood flow go through. Doesn't really have a number or a set time of how long you want that to happen. Whenever you feel comfortable, then you come back to it. Now, to be able to, what we want to be able to do is eventually isolate one hamstring to be able to strengthen it by itself. So we're going to put our left leg straight up in the air. We're going to take this right hip up.
Oh my goodness.
And we're going to take it right back down. And we're going to go again, right back up, right back down. We're going to go right back up, right back down. Now we're going to drop our left leg and we're going to take our right leg up. And we're going to do 3 the same way. Right back up, right back down, right back up, right back down, right back up, right back down. Now we're going to straighten our legs, let the blood flow go through all our muscles, let it, and sit there and relax. And that blood flow should feel really good on your body. Make sure you're breathing during this process. Then we're going to come right back here from our beginning positions. Push our hips all the way through to the top again. 3 count. Right back down. Up. Right back down. Up. Right back down. And then we're going to straighten our legs again. Let the blood flow go through. Breathe and relax. We can stand up from there.
Are any other stretches, because mine pretty much is my lower back that I'm weak here with the fusion that I've had. So other than the stretching in the morning and working on the glutes where you said we need to start tightening this up and come up.
Yes.
What else can I do for that lower back?
Something that is really good for when you're at work and you're sitting in the chairs. I'm a huge advocate on that. I believe that sitting in chairs for long periods of time is bad to your body.
It's difficult for me.
It destroys your spine because we're, as humans, not supposed to be sitting as long as we are. So when you're sitting in your chair at work, a good thing is to sit up straight and pull your shoulders back. And you can do this for like a minute or so. Take a minute on, a minute off, and just feel your posture. Because we forget that when we're working, we end up bending and becoming closer and closer and closer to our work, and we forget about our body. So just take a good time just to sit back, pull your shoulders back. Your spine doesn't even have to be on the back of the chair. Pull through here and just sit for a minute.
So it's about being aware of it, and maybe a posting note even to remind, just to pull back and do that, because sitting is very difficult. I'm up and down a lot because it's very difficult to sit for a long period of time.
And also there's a proper way too that you want to be able to stand up. When you stand up, a lot of us, we're probably putting more pressure on one leg than we are the other. If you're right-handed, most likely you're going to be left foot dominant, all right, because that's how you reach out. So you could stand up like this, but a proper way you want to be able to stand up is square your feet up, heels into the ground, toes here, and you want to be able to, when you stand up, put all of that pressure from you standing up into this back side of your body.
Well, I'll try that, but this, as you can see, getting up off the floor, that's very difficult for me to get down and get up because this area is weak. So for me to, I'll try it and see if I can do it. So you're saying push back into the heels?
Heels into, widen your legs a little bit more. Square. Every time you do something, you want to be able to square your body.
Okay.
Try it. Makes it a lot easier because now you're pulling your hips through. You're not standing up. You got here to the functional part where your body is here. Now you can activate those hamstrings and those glutes and bring those hips through. We try it again. Makes standing up a lot easier.
Yeah, I did.
Another stretch you can do is when you're sitting in the chair for a long period of time, after you pull those shoulders back, take your right arm and take it to the opposite side. And just hold it for a 30 count. And as you're reaching, you want to be able to go further and further. Then you want to come back here, take the opposite. Just pull through and help loosen up that lower back, because you, believe it or not, when you're working, if you're sitting there for 10 minutes not moving because you've been reading and writing, you have forgotten where your body is. You've forgotten that you are a human. You've forgotten that you're a person because you're so focused on what you're doing. But yet, if you don't have this intact, it makes anything outside of that very hard to do.
I will try to remind myself of that daily, several times.